CEO Ronald from Creating a Difference. We have a bowling ball that started out with a fresh 2,000 grit surface on it. And we've now officially bowled, after this shot, we'll have officially bowled one game. And we're gonna do some scanning of that bowling ball. We actually did scan the ball initially to find out that the bowling ball was 2,000 grit surface over the surface of the ball. And now we're gonna check to find out what the surface is after one game. We're wiping the bowling ball off every shot with the BFP just to make sure that the oil isn't going to be part of the issue, but nonetheless we do want to check the surface of the bowling ball. So we're going to do that right now. We're going to wipe the oil right off the bowling ball with that CTD big fluffy pad, as you can see. Gets the oil off the ball. And now we're going to scan the ball in two spots, primarily where it rolls, which is the ball track, and where it doesn't roll, which is over here. So we're going to start by scanning the ball track area. So we'll start right here and see what the number is. We're at, it's 4,000, 5,000, 4,500. Yeah, so we're 4,500 to 5,000, kind of depending on where we go in the track area. So now we'll spin over here. And like I said, this part of the ball never touches the lane. So we'll check this out. Ball started at 2,000 to start. So now we're at 3,000, 3,500, 4,000. Yeah, so really right about 4,000 in this part. So there's basically about 1,000-point difference so far after one game of bowling the ball with a fresh 2,000 grit surface to start. So we're going to bowl another game, and then we're going to check the surface again and just kind of see how much surface change actually happens with your bowling ball while you're bowling. Stay tuned. All right, so Dustin is finishing up game two here. He's struggling a little bit, but nonetheless, he's almost done. This is the 10th frame for him, so this will now officially be 2 games of bowling, and we're gonna do some additional checks. He's gonna get to shoot the super washout. Dustin, let me ask you, how are you gonna shoot this, by the way?
If I was in competition, I would go from left to right and try to clip the head pin on the right side.
Well, let's pretend you're in competition then. So he said he would clip the head pin on the right side. Oh, it wasn't what you wanted, but it still almost had a chance. All right, so that game's officially over. That's game 2 now. We're gonna go ahead and get his bowling ball, and we're gonna check the surface of the bowling ball after 2 games. Just kind of see how much surface change has occurred. We're going to continue to wipe the ball off with the big fluffy pad, which will keep the oil off of it, but it has no impact on the surface change, as you can see. So we'll wipe the ball off and we will check. All right, so we were right about 5,000 last time. So we're going to look, and then we're kind of moving around a little bit. So it's jumping around. We kind of averaged, we averaged, I guess, around 4. Was it 4 or 5?
4.
Right around 4. So we're at that 4,500, 5,000 mark. All right, there. Now, we're going to go back over here, which this is the part, like I said, that doesn't really touch the lane. The ball never rolls on this part of the lane. So it was a little bit lower before, and it's still about the same, right? Yeah, I mean, it's getting there, right? So you can see it's bouncing around a little bit there. 4,000, 4,500. There's 3,500. So it's right around that 4,000 grit number still. So that's after 2 games of bowling. We're going to do one more game, because that would be a typical league session. And we're going to check the bowling ball out after that game. And that will be the final update for this particular ball, and being able to look at how much surface change can actually happen while you bowl. Stay tuned. All right, so we've now got game 3 almost wrapped up here. This is Dustin's final frame here. We're going to be able to have 3 games on this bowling ball, which is really going to kind of simulate if you're a bowling league, right? So the ball started out at a 2,000 grit surface, and now this is the final, well, second to final shot he's going to throw, which is going to simulate our 3 games of bowling. Dustin only used this ball for strike balls and spare balls, did not use a spare ball, which obviously if you were bowling in league or a tournament, you should use a spare ball, because spare balls are very important to be able to help you get your highest score possible. But because we were trying to demonstrate and get a real feel for surface change of a bowling ball while you're bowling. We use it for strike balls and spare balls both. So Dustin is going to finish up with his final pitch right here. End on a good note. Nice 10 back. And now we will take this ball and take a look at the final surface change and just kind of see where we ended up at overall with the surface change. Because the surface change obviously is a massively important portion of ball motion. Once a bowling ball is drilled, surface is really the only thing that you can do to change that ball motion. So understanding surface change is critical. We're going to go ahead and wipe that ball off once again with the BFP. You can see it wipes off all the oil really well. Gets all the oil off the ball. Does not impede or change or alter the surface of the bowling ball. But the surface is going to change just due to the fact that the bowling ball is being bowled on. So we're going to go back again, once again in the track area. You can see the track lines in the bowling ball, which indicate it's touched the lane there. So we're going to kind of see where we are after 3 games. We're at that 5,000, 4,500, 5,000, pretty much consistently now. So we're going to call that 5,000 grit in the track area. We'll spin the ball over here once again to the non-track area, the part of the ball that has not ever touched the lane. Get a little focus there, and we'll see where we're at here. We're at 4,500, 4,000, 4,500. So it's still right about that 4,500. Yeah, about 4,500. So we're almost to 5,000 across. Let's go to another part of the ball. So this is, I'm just kind of curious to see how close that ball is, because it looks like we're seeing that 4,500 to 5,000 all over the place now at this point, which is kind of interesting, because what that means is even though only portion of the bowling ball touches the lane, the entire surface is being impeded. And it's fairly uniform, as you can see here. 4,500 to that 5,000 range. Pretty much we seem to see a little bit lower when we hit a logo, but nonetheless, 4,500 to 5,000. So that gives you a very good idea of the amount of surface change that can happen in a 3-game league session. You can see the bowling ball obviously is shiny. This is why it's critical and important for you to know how to sand and change the surface of your bowling ball. You can only do that before or after bowling. Obviously, you can't do that while you're bowling, but that's also why we make the True Cut sanding pads, because they are made for bowling balls, and they come in 6 different grits, as you can see here: 500, 1,000, 1,500, 2,000, 3,000, and that interesting pad P5000D, which is a 4,000 grit surface by hand or 5,000 grit surface on a ball spinner. So now you have a little bit more inside information and something to consider when you're going to get your bowling ball and you're going to service your bowling ball to make sure that it maintains a certain type of performance that you're looking for. As always, if you have more questions or need more information, make sure you check us out at CTD Bowling. Ronald Hicklin, CEO from Creating the Difference. Have a great day.